Breaking news tonight. We are sad to report legendary comedian Joan Rivers has died at the age of 81.
She was such an incredible woman, and I think she had no filter. All of us try and fit into society. We try and please people, but Joan Rivers didn't care what anybody thought of her, and she made us laugh. She had this wonderful quote from Winston Churchill, and she said, you know, her job is, like Winston Churchill said, to take people, give them a mini vacation by making them laugh. And what she did was gave us a huge, long vacation. We are blessed to have had her.
She was convicted just over a year ago, as we all remember, of murdering her ex-boyfriend Travis Alexander by stabbing him 29 times, slitting his throat ear to ear, and then shooting him in the head, leaving behind an absolutely gruesome crime scene.
I think this is total manipulation on the part of Jodi Arias. Everything we've seen from this woman is a part of her manipulative scheme, and in this instance, Jane, she wants to gain some kind of unfair advantage. She wants to go back and retry the facts of this case, but this judge is smarter than that. This jury is going to be confined to looking at whether she should get the death penalty or not. They're not going to decide whether this was self-defense. That's already been decided. Premeditated murder. She has to live with that. But she wants to curry some kind of favor, get the jurors to feel sympathetic towards her. Very manipulative on her part, and I think just a shame the way she's allowed, without even a college degree, a law degree, to step into a case. Death penalty cases are the most difficult in our criminal justice system. So to have a woman with no legal training representing herself, I think she's just setting herself up to file an appeal if the death penalty is decided by these jurors.
Breaking news tonight in the hot car death. The Georgia dad accused of leaving his precious 2-year-old boy, Cooper, inside a hot car to die a slow, torturous death, has just been indicted on 8 counts, including malice murder, felony murder, child cruelty, sexting Brian Claypool while your son bakes to death. 6 women, okay? Now, I'm wondering if those 6 women, I know that they've talked to at least 2 of them, and I'm sure they've probably tracked them all down by now, if they're going to become the star witnesses in what could be a XXX rated trial.
Well, Jane, be careful what you wish for if you're the Cobb County DA, because in this case, unless you've got some smoking gun with these text messages, for example, wherein Ross Harris is saying, "Oh, I can't wait to get rid of my kid. I hate my kid. I'm going to kill my kid." If you don't have that, then what you have is the opposite, which is a man who's addicted to sex, he's addicted to sexting, he's addicted to pornography, and if I was his lawyer, I would be arguing a diminished capacity defense, that because of this addiction, it negates the intent that's required to prove malice murder.
What? I mean, Wendy, help me out here. You're a former prosecutor.
I don't agree with that. But here's the thing. The guy, because he's not only ignoring the reality of his child's life or death, he's enjoying pleasure in a way that violates child pornography laws. And so the jury is going to be predisposed to assume he hates his child. You don't have to have a text message that says, "I hate my child." And this is why I think the guy's in trouble. Malice murder is hard to prove. But if you got a monster father like this in the case, it gets a little easier.
All right, we want your help to figure out the naked truth. There's a woman in Texas who's now suing cops, saying she was terrorized. They pulled her over with guns drawn. She's saying, "I got kids in the car." They handcuff her. The kids are having nightmares. Thank God for dash cam video. Listen and watch the dash cam video and see if you can think of any way the cops could have handled it differently.
Driver, let me see your hands. Everybody stick their hands out the window.
Put your hands on your head. Right here. Come on back.
Yes, sir.
Come on back.
What is wrong?
Talk to you in a minute.
My kids.
How old are you?
They're 6 and 8 and 10, 9. What are we doing?
Hold on a second, okay?
Sir, what is going on? Oh my God, you are terrifying my children.
I want to hear what the folks at home are saying. Let's go to our social media producer, Jackie Terradian, in the hashtag hub. What are people saying, Jackie?
Jane, you know what? People are absolutely fired up about this story, and the interesting part is that comments are really coming in for both sides. Let's take Sandy, for example. She says, this was so wrong on all levels. I understand cops have a job to do. However, shaking my head, not stuff like this. It's giving good cops a bad rep. Then Cindy actually says, she's defending the cops, she says, at least they were respectful and didn't manhandle anyone by throwing them around. They realized their mistake right away. And finally, you have Fern, who says, I pray I never get pulled over because I'm actually afraid. That is crazy. And it's crazy that stories like this we cover all the time, and people are actually afraid. They're afraid to get in their cars. They're afraid to leave their homes. It's just, it's turning into a state of mass chaos.